everybody? Welcome to another episode of Floyd Street's Finest, presented by Great Flood Brewing Company. I am Jeff Greer, excited to be back with you for another episode here. We've got Fabio Basili joining the show today. An elite pairing of great heads of hair ready to chat today on Floyd Street's Finest. Of course, we are a member of the Field of 68 Media Network. If you have not already, subscribed to all the different platforms we're on for social media between, of course, Twitter, YouTube has all the videos that you could possibly want. We've got a million podcasts that you can follow if you're a college basketball fan. And keep an eye out for, you can pre-order it, I believe, the Hoops Almanac, getting ready to preview the 2022-23 season. You know, it wasn't that long ago when someone would say 2023, it would be like, God, that sounds, we'll have flying cars by then. That sounds so far away. And now here we are, just a couple months away from it, and the season is right around the corner. So make sure you take advantage of the almanac that the Field of 68 is putting out. It's going to be really good stuff. Every coach in Division I, talk directly to them. Lots of team preview stuff. It should be a fantastic read. So make sure that you tune in for that. Don't have a whole lot of house cleaning related issues. It's kind of a quiet time for Louisville basketball. I think there's a lot of people who would like to not think about football. So that's what this podcast will do for you for, a half hour. We're going to start ramping up episodes here coming up as the season draws closer and to start previewing things come October, late September. So we're right around the corner, believe it or not. We're right around the corner from preseason. We know that it's getting busy for the recruiting season. I think a lot of people were starting to get a little worried about the visit side of things. Is Louisville, what's Louisville doing? Basically, Curtis Williams will be coming in about a week here, if my math is correct. He will be making his decision after his visit to Louisville. I have heard from various places that he is considered a likely commitment for Louisville, but we know that Providence, Xavier, and I believe Florida State are all in the mix for Curtis. And then, of course, Isaiah Miranda, 2023 big guy, 7-footer, is taking an official visit to Louisville this coming weekend. So that is going to be something to pay attention to as the progress goes for those guys. We'll see if Louisville can lock down a few more members of the 2023 class to join Caleb Glenn. I feel like people forget that Caleb Glenn has already committed. I see a lot of stuff like on message boards. I see a lot of people tweeting like, when is Louisville going to get its first 2023 recruit? Well, I understand the mindset. The first recruit that Kenny Payne has gotten a commitment from with his staff, at least non-2022 spring signees commitments. And that is exactly what Caleb Glenn is a 2023 commitment. And he stuck with his commitment to stay with Louisville, even with a change in the coaching staff. So don't forget about him. He's a very good player and a nice piece to start the 2023 class. AJ Johnson is another guy who obviously is on Louisville's radar and planning to come for Louisville Live, which is a big deal. If they can keep him from committing anywhere else for the few weeks between his fourth and what would be his last visit, Louisville will be in decent shape. There's a number of schools hotly pursuing him. He is a fast rising kid, now considered a 5-star prospect. And of course, we don't have to go down the road today just because I don't have any new information. But of course, DJ Wagner and Aaron Bradshaw, we know, are very much on the list. If I forgot someone, that doesn't mean anything. I'm just flying here with some of these guys to try to get some updates. But Fabio Basili was a key piece this summer, a late addition, and we don't know. I wrote this in my newsletter, which you can subscribe to, jeffgreer.substack.com. You can get the free version of it. I try to include some good stuff in the free version, or you can pay $7 a month for the weekly newsletter. And then once the season starts, I sprinkle in a lot of extra newsletters during the week once as things develop and once we have more information, more of a data set to work from. So you can subscribe to that. Like I said, jeffgreer.substack.com, but I wrote about it there. Anything that Fabio Basili does this year, literally anything will be an acceptable amount, because that is what was needed. They needed another guard to come in who can help with ball handling. He's got some good size. We know Hersey Miller is here as a walk-on, not your typical walk-on. Seems like he's a guy who can maybe help. We don't know. We just don't know. There just really has not been a whole lot coming out of summer workouts other than conditioning is hard, and a couple guys have looked really good. I've heard a lot about Kamari Lands. I've heard a lot about Brandon Huntley Hatfield. And then, of course, L. Ellis and Sidney Curry, guys who have been talked about quite a bit. Mike James is healthy again. Jalen Withers is eager to build on his February and come back stronger this coming season. So there's some talk, but it just has not been very specific. We don't know a whole lot. So Fabio Basili is brought in, and what we do know is, look, if he can play 5 minutes for Louisville, if he can play 8 minutes a game for Louisville, that's great. If he can spell L. Ellis can play 30, 32, 34 minutes a game, and they just need to keep him healthy. L. Ellis is the key to a lot for Louisville this season, but Fabio Basili coming in is a huge addition because it gives you another scholarship guard. It gives you another guard in the backcourt, a guy who can compete for minutes, push L. Ellis, but also you just know, look, you've got another point guard on your roster. That in and of itself is a big plus for Louisville. So I wanted to get to know him a little bit more. We talked a little bit about how Louisville got into the mix with him earlier this summer, what his options were for 2023 and 2022. Of course, how Louisville pitched themselves to him, what it looked like in those conversations. And we talk a little bit about his longstanding friendship with Mike James. They go back a long time, basketball in Florida, all that stuff coming up in this conversation with Fabio Basili. It was an enjoyable one. He's got a lot of energy, and you'll catch on right away. He is someone who is a very positive, upbeat guy. So we will get to that. But first, I want to tell you more about my friends over at Great Flood Brewing Company. What a difference a few months can make. What a summer it's been for Louisville. Come have a beer, bourbon, or a glass of wine at Great Flood as the weather is staying hot these days and starting to cool down a little bit. I'm a fan. Anytime I can wear a sweater, I'm a fan. Walk on up to Great Flood, enjoy the patio and friendly staff as we welcome in what will be an exciting fall for Louisville basketball. And we are proud sponsors. Can't wait to serve you. So tell them that Jeff sent you. Tell them that Floyd Street's Finest sent you. And enjoy either location, Middletown or Douglas Loop. All right. Here is my conversation with Fabio Basili. All right. We are joined now by Fabio Basili. Just two great guys, great hair, talking to each other. Fabio, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good, man. Just got done with practice. We had a good practice. Just going along with it, man. It's been going great.
Awesome. Well, let's start with that. Let's start with your arrival in Louisville. When did you get into town, and how have things gone so far since you've arrived?
I got into town around like 3 weeks ago, and it's been awesome ever since. I got right on the basketball court. Been working hard with the team. It's been great. I got great teammates, great coaching staff. They push us every day to be the best we could be. It's been awesome.
Did you know anything about the city before this became, an option for you in recruiting? Like, how much did you know about the city of Louisville, Kentucky?
I had a little bit of understanding. I know that we have the horse races here. I know that the Louisville basketball team is real big here. We're like the NBA team of the city, so that's pretty much it.
Okay.
A lot of businesses out here and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple of years ago, I still laugh about this. A couple of years ago, I flew to Philadelphia and spent the day with a guy, Fresh Kimball, who was a graduate transfer at Louisville for 1 year. He actually, it was during the pandemic, he committed to Louisville without coming to the campus because he couldn't travel. And he thought that there would just be like horses, like just like walking down the street, like walking past the classroom. So it's not quite to that level.
No. No.
So since you've arrived, it sounds like you just kind of hit the ground running and started working out and all of those things. Walk us through, I guess, some of the things that you've done from a basketball standpoint and what your impressions are of your teammates so far.
Well, something that our coach preaches us to every day is to be conditioned and confident. So we've been working on a lot of conditioning, running, a little bit of plays. We touched on defense a little bit, but just really offensive, working on our plays and stuff, getting to know each other on the court better, stuff like that.
How did you feel from a conditioning standpoint? I've heard from various sources and people that it's been tough this summer.
First day was hard, but I've been actually doing really good with running. Every day I get better, better, and better and better. But he really pushes us to be great, and for us to be pros. So it's not supposed to be easy.
Yeah, no, that's facts. So tell me, what are your impressions of L. Ellis and Hersey Miller, a couple guys who are going to be sharing the ball handling duties with you in the backcourt?
Man, those are my guys, man. We go at each other every day in practice. They push me to be better, and I push them to be better. They're terrific. L's a senior point guard, so he's looking real good this year. I'm ready. I'm really excited to play with him. We go at it all the time in practice, but he's real good on me. Hersey too, and Hersey's we're gonna be good on the backcourt together. They both been doing real well in practice.
Now, so how did U of L became an option earlier this summer? There was all this back and forth about whether you were reclassifying into 2023, back into 2022.
Yeah.
How did Louisville, I guess, get on your radar? I know you knew Mike James, for those out there who don't know, a high school teammate, but how did Louisville get on your radar to be an option to come this summer and be in Louisville right away?
Okay, well, I really paid attention to Louisville all year due to Mike being on the team. I was always watching them, and then actually during the summer, I played with as a post grad senior with each one teach one. Actually, they're called the Florida Rebels now. Played EYBL, and after one of the sessions, Coach Kenny called me. And he showed his interest. I just became very interested ever since the phone call.
What was the pitch? I mean, what was he trying to not sell you on, but what did he talk to you about as your role for Louisville?
Just getting me better and getting me to the pro level. So this will be a great spot for me to learn and grow. And we just have a great coaching staff for us to help, like stuff like that.
And I'm interested for those out there. At that point, were you considering other options for this summer, or were they 2023 options?
There were summer options. I had some schools. A lot of schools were in and out with me. Just Louisville was one of my last options though, and it just
Okay,
felt best for me.
nice.
That's
And
great.
so when you arrived here, how much have you had a chance to like? People will say like, look, if you're a big guy, you've got Danny Manning, you've got Kenny Payne, two of the best big man coaches in college basketball. If you're a guard, you're coming in, you're going to work with Nolan Smith specifically because of his track record, his background. So, yeah, I mean, how has that relationship developed so far? What's it been like working with Nolan?
It's been absolutely awesome. Every day he has something to give to me, something new that I learn from every day. He's an awesome guy, man. Awesome coach.
He could still play a little bit too, can't he?
Yeah. He actually was he joined in our practice today. He was on our team today. We were getting
Oof.
some buckets.
Yeah. Well,
That's true.
when you get in this situation, it's different. I mean, Sid Curry last year was in your spot, came in August, towards the end of the summer sessions, and really I recognize like you're not moving in with the guys at the end of May. You're not able to do all those things and have the summer to get your feet under you. What has that part of it been like as far as just feeling like I'm here, I got to get going? Like, do you feel like you're playing catch up, or has it been natural for you to just arrive and start up?
Not at all catch up. I mean, I actually jumped in pretty well. My teammates have been very helpful to me. Helping me fit in with them. My coaches, they help me. So it's been good for me. It's been good. It hasn't been too hard.
For people who don't know, how would you describe like what is Fabio Basili as a basketball player? What do you do? What makes you stand out?
I'm a real team player, and I want to see my team win, and I'll sacrifice for my team to win. I'm an unselfish player. I'd rather see somebody else score before me. I just want to win. I just want to be great. That's it, man.
Well, and I know Oak Ridge I mean, that's always been a really strong program. I used to work in West Palm Beach, so I followed high school basketball quite a bit when I was down there. That culture, how do you think that prepared you, in addition, obviously, to playing on the AAU circuit. How do you think that prepared you for moving up to the ACC level?
They prepared me very well. My coaches, they had a great experience, and they both played in college. One of my coaches actually played at LSU, so they had a lot of experience of what like college practices would be like. So they would try to relate our high school practices to college practices. So now coming into here, I've been very well like equipped in what's going on and stuff. So it hasn't been too hard.
Has there been a moment where you've been like, oh, okay, yeah, this is not, I'm not playing guys necessarily my own age anymore. Has there been like a, this is an
Yeah,
ACC
yeah.
school type moment?
I probably seen that in the physical factor of it, but otherwise everything is just basketball.
Hmm.
I've been playing against top level guys all my life.
Hmm. For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
So tell me, so how long have you known Mike James? How far back does that relationship go?
Me and Mike James have been, with the AAU circuit in Orlando, we've been playing with each other around since second grade, actually. So I've
Oh,
known him all
wow.
my life,
Okay.
basically.
Wow. I
Maybe
didn't
even
know it was that
before
far
that.
back. Well, tell
Pardon?
me, well, go ahead.
Yeah, we've been playing around second grade. We used to train with each other. We had local trainings together, stuff like that. We used to play on the AU team called Central Florida Magic. This is years ago though, around like second grade time. Yeah,
That's
but yeah.
awesome. Who was bigger back then when you guys were in second grade?
Mike. His name was actually called Big Mike, and he was a big man at one point.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He was real big when he was younger.
Okay. Okay. He's
Yeah.
still he's still a big dude. I mean,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
he still grinds it out inside. He's not afraid of anybody.
Oh yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
What so I always like to ask you guys this. You're at a party, okay, and somebody says, "What's your favorite Mike James story from when you guys were younger?" Do you have one? Like what's the go-to?
An in-court game. He had a reverse lob. Actually, I threw him from around half court. I think we're playing Boone High School in Orlando, and I threw him a lob, and he reverse dunked it. That's something I always remember. That really turned me up. Mhm.
What was the crowd reaction to that?
It was a good crowd reaction. We were playing away though, so we
Oh,
had a pretty
okay,
good
okay.
crowd reaction for an away game. Yes,
um,
sir.
so for you, like, what's your hoops upbringing? Like, how did you get into the game? Who did you play? I guess who did you learn the game from when you were younger that got you to the point that you reached once you got to high school?
Okay, I always been training with a guy named Donovan Redden, and he's been on the basketball scene. He actually played overseas, and played at a high level. So he knew a lot about the game. He kind of brought me along, always doing ball handling when I was younger. And then I used to play on his AAU squad around like first grade, kindergarten, around there. And then second grade, I played on Each One Teach One. And that was around when Joe Barry was a senior. So I was young, and I always saw them play as older players, and I seen the competition level, and I always just imagined myself as being at that level one day. So
That
just my
that's
my bad. I always just played on the AU scene. We went to nationals as we were younger. That was high level tournament. So always been on the scene.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
the Orlando area has had a number of good players. You mentioned Joel, obviously. Austin Rivers came up through that area.
Yeah.
Wasn't Shane Larkin also? Is Shane Larkin an Orlando kid? Can't
I'm not too
remember. He's
sure.
from
Damn, my
Florida. I
bad,
know he's from
Shane.
Florida.
He might be. I don't know. Austin's my guy though. I talked to Austin. We actually were training this summer with weight training.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I said it when you committed and when it became clear you're coming and sign and everything. I said it then, like I said earlier, from following high school basketball in Florida. There's a lot of dudes who play like college football who step over and play basketball. So, in addition to having a really good basketball centric community, there's a lot of really good athletes that play high school basketball in Florida. It's really physical. It's a tough game.
Yeah.
How do you think playing through high school and playing in the Orlando area shaped you for who you are, not just as a player, but also as a person?
Man, there's a lot of competition. So like it's either eat or get ate. So I just kept that mentality the whole way. I don't like losing. I'm not a losing person. So I always shoot to win. That's really just been the motto. So I don't know, it shaped me to be a dog, man. Be a dog, always, wherever I'm at. Gotta have a dog mentality. You really gotta have it in you, you know? So yeah.
Has it felt like it's, I would assume like the Louisville guys, there's a lot of them who kind of play that same way.
Oh yeah, oh
They've
yeah.
got
We
that
all
deal.
got it in us. We
Yeah.
all do.
The last,
Seen that first day I got here.
yeah, man, it's talk about hit the ground running. All right. Well, last couple things for you. First and foremost, if you could pick one moment in your life where you thought, like one specific moment, it could have been a dunk, could have been a three, could have been whatever the moment was, a pass. Did you ever have a moment in your head where you were like, I could play college basketball, like I could play top level Division I college basketball?
Oh man. There's too many plays. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I always knew. I always knew.
How
Really,
far
really
back?
just seeing other players that I played go to college before me. Like we
Mhm.
went my 10th grade year, my sophomore year, we went to the Tarkanian Classic and we
Mhm.
played against Sierra Canyon. And they had they had BJ Boston and he
Mhm.
went to Kentucky and I scored 20 points against their team. Really stuff like that. I would just, I always kind of knew, but that like from that moment forward, I kind of really knew like I could really play with these boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see how that would build your confidence a little bit.
yes sir, yes sir.
Do you remember your first dunk?
My first dunk, seventh grade summer, seventh grade summer.
Okay.
My
Was it in
was
a
eighth
real
grade.
game, or were you like messing around with friends?
No, just practice. But my
Okay.
real in game dunk was eighth grade summer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah, everybody seems to always remember that moment. It's like,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
okay, you're doing
That
it.
was
Like,
real big for me.
yeah, I bet. Well, last thing then is for people out there, this coaching staff, they don't talk a whole lot, and everybody wants to know, like, what can you expect from the Louisville Cardinals this year? Playing style. How would you describe it, since you've joined up? What you think this team is going to look like when you guys get out there and start playing in November?
We're gonna be a fast-paced team, up and down team, hard-working team. We're all unselfish, a confident team, a conditioned team for sure. Um, it's gonna be a great season. It's gonna be a great season. We're all been working very, very hard, dedicated. It's been good. So I should expect nothing less in the game.
There you go. Okay. Well,
Sure.
you were right, man. This Louisville basketball is, it's the deal here in town. This is the pro team, like you said, and
Yes, sir.
I'm sure it's exciting to have arrived and be done with all the stuff, just getting ready in the summer, just to be able to finally say like you're here and get started. So, congrats, and
Thank you, man. All the fans here have been awesome, man. I
that's
appreciate
good.
everybody who supports us. Ever since I touched down from the airport to my dorm, everybody's just been completely awesome. I
That's awesome.
appreciate y'all.
That's great. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time, and
Yes,
best of
sir.
luck this season.
All right, man. Thank you, man. What's up?
See you
See
later.
y'all, man.